winnen. Hij is zonder enige twijfel de beste speler uit Polen op dit moment. Mag ik een hartelijk applaus voor de Polish Eagle, Krzysztof Ratajski!
To jest ten dzień, to jest ta chwila. Ten długi wdech, niepowodzenie już przemija. Podparty lęk, przecież potrafisz wygrywać. Dawaj do przodu, wyciągnij dłonie i to zdobywaj. Nieprawdą jest to, że mówili nie dasz rady. Nieprawdą jest to, że nie możesz zostać wygranym, Nieprawdą jest mówienie marzeń, nie osiągniemy. Bo to jest w twojej głowie, to od ciebie zależy. Potrafisz wierzyć, potrafię, więc dalej walczę. A założenie, że każdy powinien mieć szansę. A chyba też pamiętaj.
En dan zijn tegenstander, een jong talent uit Ierland, gaat hier tegen opnemen. 2 overwinningen op de Development Tour heeft deze jongeman op zijn naam staan. Tourkaart sinds dit jaar. Geef hem een ongelooflijk applaus. Uit Ierland, Steve Lennon! We hebben fantastische spelers aan de hockey dit toernooi, maar we hebben natuurlijk ook 2 fantastische scheidsrechters. Scheidsrechter voor de eerste 2 wedstrijden, Paul Hinks.
Well, welcome back to Maastricht and the Dutch Darts Masters. 1 session out of the way. 2nd session this evening, which will confirm our second round lineup, the last 32 of the 9th European Tour event of 2017. Some big names on the way. The likes of Steve Beaton, the bronzed Adonis. Calm yourselves. The Deadly Rose, John Michael, the greatest player ever to come from the Isles of Greece. Kyle Anderson, your recently crowned Auckland Darts Master from the World Series. He takes on Justin Pipe in perhaps, on paper, the game of the night. Ronnie Hybrex, James Wilson. But we start with the Polish champion, Krzysztof Ratajski, against Steve Lennon, the youngster from Ireland, with whom I've been very, very impressed in his first year as a PDC pro. I am Dan Dawson. Alongside me is Paul Nicholson, former Players Champion, the asset. We'll be talking you through this opening game of the evening session, Lennon versus Ratajski.
Should be a cracker to get us started. I was just saying to you, Dan, wasn't it, that Krzysztof seems to only have 1 shirt. But I think it's a new because he's got a Polish flag on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, first flag is Krzysztof to throw first. Game on.
Well, Krzysztof Ratajski, part of a select few players who've been ever present on the Euro Tour for 2017, and Krzysztof has had to qualify for every single one.
140.
But he won't be at the next one. Shock of shocks, Krzysztof Ratajski has not come through the Eastern European qualifier, because that spot went to Hungary's Nandor Bezeki Nandor.
Probably the biggest shock in European darts all season.
Wow.
The way things have gone.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You do expect Krzysztof. I mean, he's going to be at the European Championship. The consistency that he's shown. And I was told earlier this year that the success that he's had on the European Tour, and look, he keeps winning first round games. The vast majority of times he's made it past his opening game. But he's often run into big name players, Mensur Suljovic, Peter Wright more than once. But he's really pushed them. And he could have gone deeper into these tournaments were it not for the fact some of the big names have had to play some very good darts to beat him. But it has convinced him to give Q School a go next year.
21.
More of that shortly. 1-2-1 for Ratajski. 11s. Oh, he's down for the 15, so I beg your pardon, with Lennon not on a finish.
89.
Yeah, that game he had with Suljovic was memorable. It was a great game of darts. One that I would watch off many, many more times. And that's something that Steve Lennon can do. Just a reminder to the Polish man who loves double 16. And that's why
the first leg.
I remember watching Krzysztof at Lakeside back in January, and he was deadly on double 16. He was really good down there, especially under pressure. It's where he goes when he just needs
39.
a familiar face.
Yeah, He has been very, very impressive. And as I say, the success that he's had has convinced him that he can give it a go as a full tour card member. Got to win his tour card, though. I mean, unless he does something ridiculous, like and wins the European Championship, and he can get it by right then. Already picked up around about 10 grand in ranking money this year.
134.
I've got a sneaky feeling, Dan, that Q School next year may be quite tasty.
Well, it's going to be different for a start, because there is the new European Q School.
139.
Now, the details of this have not been finalised. It's only just been announced with the new calendar which includes an extra European Tour event. First time we're going to Denmark,
140.
Copenhagen. But this European Q School will see a simultaneous Q School played in Hildesheim, a favourite on the European Tour as a venue.
140.
They will divvy it up very much like they have the qualifiers for these events. So if you're a UK or outside of Europe-based national, so for the
60.
Canadians, for example, Dawson Merschel, who we saw at the US Darts Masters, or the guys from Asia or Down Under, Corey Cadby, for example. Those guys will play in the UK Q School, whereas the ones in mainland Europe, the Dutch, the Belgians, the guys from Eastern Europe like Krzysztof, the Nordic and Baltic, Scandinavian countries, they will play in the other one, as Lennon wants another one of those. Does not get it.
88.
We've already mentioned that Ratajski has played Sulevic on the European Tour this year. He wants the Sulevic. That looks awkward to me. Now he's got to move. Got to hit this because Lennon's on tops.
No score.
Wrong side of it, Krzysztof. A let-off.
$20.
Saw the wire move.
28.
Well, it's deja vu. Lennon's still on tops. Well, he's not on tops anymore. But Ratajski's still on 28. Still on 28. Now he's got double 7. He's making it hard for himself. But at least the bed's open this time. Yeah, good shot.
Krzysztof Ratajski. Third leg is Krzysztof to throw first. Game on.
Well, it's a break of throw. Double 7, proving reliable for Krzysztof Ratajski. It is right next to double 16, the one he really liked.
You do tend to find that a lot of people who like double 16 do like double 7.
140.
Logical.
It's people who like tops like double 12. People like Wade
99.
and Anderson. The masters at those two doubles. Lennon played really well in qualifying, taking out Painter, 6-2, and the tricky Richie Edhouse.
170.
Great darts from Ratajski. Make no mistake, he's come to blow Steve Lennon away, not give him any chances. He might have had a couple of shots at double in the last leg, but Ratajski doesn't want to give him that opportunity again. He looks comfortable.
He does, and this is the sort of stuff Krzysztof has done all year. Go on, leave double 2, why not?
136.
Well, it is an almost 300-point lead he has in this leg. If Krzysztof Ratajski does not win this leg,
58. Krzysztof
well,
48.
knock the stuffing out of him.
16 for double. Oh, double 16 for double 8. Oh, you show off.
Krzysztof Ratajski.
Very good, though. We've seen some showing off today.
Game on.
103 from Jim Walker was quite memorable. And the 76 in that game from Jim Walker. I don't think I'll ever forget
100.
them.
Yeah, it was very, very impressive from Jim Walker. Perhaps the surprise result of the day, you would have to say, taking out Darren Webster, who's been so good this year. But we've seen very good performances from Nathan Aspinall, Kurt Shepherd, both averaging in the 90s, both hitting a lot of darts at double tour. Fantastic display from Mike Decker finishing as well.
140.
But Max Hopp, the only guy to average over 100, he was beaten by Kirk Shepherd. In fact, it's only the second time that Max Hopp has ever averaged 100 on a big stage, and he lost that one as well. That was the Austrian Darts Open back in 2014, lost to Terry
85.
Jenkins. Krzysztof is averaging well over 100 right now. But it's not really a surprise, because as I say, he's been doing this sort of stuff
100.
in patches over the course of this entire year on the European Tour.
I've been studying the grip and the throw of Ratajski for a few months now, and The most fascinating thing about the way he throws
139.
is the corkscrew motion of the dart in the fingers before he throws it. It's very James Wade for me. He's getting it into position with his fingers before he throws it. And
97.
he tried that at home. It's not easy.
140.
Well, let's just see if he can take out this ton 40. Not going to happen, but a ton would leave tops. Oh, now then.
54.
Well, not the greatest setup shot in the world, it has to be said. Lennon, an opportunity to get his first leg on the board. 16s he looks at. Another one of those. For the double.
48. Krzysztof require 86.
This is going to hurt if it goes.
Treble 18 will leave that favoured. Double 16. It's looking ominous. Eagle-eyed. Hits it.
On the fourth leg.
Steve Lennon will be kicking himself. He had a chance, but Ratajski doesn't need telling twice.
And it's a 15 darter. 15 darts, that's your level 100 average. Brings Krzysztof Ratajski's average down a touch, but not by much. He is still averaging, what, 104-ish, round about there. Very impressive stuff from the Polish champion.
59.
Now, he pulls it back, doesn't he, and he corkscrews it into place. But is he one of those players who seems to twist it as he throws, or is it just going straight out?
It's going straight out after the
96.
corkscrew in his fingers. And if you watch his follow through, it's a very unusual throw for me. It's a lot of players have got circular throws. They bring it up and then bring it down. It's a fling. It's the whole arm that goes together. The top of the arm, the bottom of the arm, the hand and the shoulder at the same time. It's very, very unusual when you break it down.
58.
But sometimes the unusual can do very incredible things. Look at Sulevic and look at Philip Taylor.
Well, yes. It's there's quite a lot of shoulder in the Ratajski throw, isn't there?
101.
And it's not something you would coach. You know, if somebody came to you as a kid playing like that, and some coaches just say you work with what you've got. You don't want to remodel their action. It's what they're comfortable doing.
93.
But you would look at it and go, well, that's something where it can go wrong. You look at, say, Adrian Lewis. When he's throwing at his very best, there's no shoulder in it at all, is there? It's all just very smooth and fluid. But sometimes you see his shoulder come into it and he's forcing it a bit.
134.
And that's what you want to guard against sometimes.
Steve Lennon, on the other hand, in my opinion, has one of the nicest throws in the world. And I'm not exaggerating that whatsoever. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. 124. Looks even nicer when you get the 60. Single. Got the treble. Double 11 for 5-0. It's fantastic. I don't know what fantastic is in Polish. It's probably got lots of silent Z's in it. But all the same, it's 5-0 to the Polish champion.
Well, look, this is such neat and tidy stuff from Krzysztof Ratajski. Another 15-dart leg. The average is around about 102 right now. And Steve Lennon, look, he's played quite solid stuff, but he's had 4 darts. Oh, there we go. We've got Rob Malarkey, our international translator, who's just Google translated fantastic in Polish, which is very similar to fantastic, but with some Z's and Y's and N's and stuff. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. I only know one phrase in Polish.
97.
I'm not going to ask what that is, but if I try to say fantastic in Polish, it'll probably come out sounding like Klingon.
Yeah, let's leave it at that. It's, it's
137.
an all-embracing sport. So we've got people from all over the world here playing this weekend. But I think, unfortunately, all we'll manage to do is cause an international incident if we try and speak languages we can't speak.
60.
Right now, Krzysztof Ratajski is looking to kick this session off as the afternoon session was kicked off with a 6-0 whitewash. Robert Owen saw off Jamie Bain. But as well as Robert Owen played, and he did hit more than 50% of his darts at double, it has been a different level from Krzysztof Ratajski. He has been excellent. And he is looking to set up a second-round clash with the Cobra Jelle Klaassen. And I would suggest that the former Lakeside champ Klaassen should be paying attention to this, because he is on it, Krzysztof Ratajski.
You wouldn't want to play this guy tomorrow. You wouldn't want to play him at the Europeans. And if he makes the World Championships, you do not want to play him there either. Who's to say that he won't play in other tournaments on TV? Because he's playing the best darts of today.
Krzysztof, you require 52.
Yeah, it really is. And 52 for a 6-0 whitewash against Steve Lennon, who I think is a fantastically talented individual. But double 8 condemns him to defeat, and it's another 15-dart leg. Neat and tidy, and look what it means to Krzysztof Ratajski. Massive celebration from a man who's usually quite reserved up on stage there. It's like Jeremy Hunt on steroids on that stage at the Dutch Darts Masters. Krzysztof Ratajski blasts past Steve Lennon into the second round. Jamie Lewis and Harry Robinson coming up. See if we can grab a quick couple of words to Krzysztof. It may be that cements his place at the European Championship, and that's what the big celebration was about. We shall see with our MC Jacques Neuler, and then we're back with Robinson versus Lewis at the Dutch Darts Masters, live from Maastricht.
Krzysztof, 100 plus average, 6-0, fantastic game.
Yeah, I don't expect it. It will be 6-all, yeah, because he's a very good player, and I really don't expect it.
Tomorrow, you're going to be back on stage here. You're playing a Dutchman, playing Jelle Klaassen. How do you think about that?
Yeah, I know. The public will be with him. I know it, but I will try with him, of course.
Dames en heren, we gaan hem morgen terugzien. Boven de 100 gemiddeld vandaag, dus het is echt iemand die meedoet. Geef een ongelooflijk applaus. Krzysztof Ratajski!